It's a very warm welcome back to the SimGrid's YouTube channel as we bring you live coverage of round 2 in More Female Racers by Thrustmaster Rockets here from the beautiful Cathedral of Speed, Autodromo Nazionale Monza. Round 1 just 2 weeks ago already feels like a lifetime away, with an incident-packed opening round at Zolder for the championship, with many lessons being learned and more experience being added to the sim racing resume. It was a case of picking up where they left off for the dominant duo of Eonore and Mia Rose, who left everyone in their dust, taking a win for the Gianolese Esports Academy and raising the benchmark even higher this season in the Pro class. The Pro-Am class saw a great win for Team Cupcakes, Sarah Fair and Sebastian Handler, while the silver honours went the way of NSN Racing Wild Things, Therese Pope and Rob Taplin after a very heated battle. And finally, in the AM class, it was more cake on the menu as Team Cake, Angel Cakes, Josie Austin and Rydian Lloyd Davis started their campaign off in the best possible fashion, taking top points and with a good gap to boot. Tonight, however, we turn our attention to the race here at Monza, where speed, consistency and staying out of trouble are going to be critical factors in getting a good result. As a reminder, it's the Lamborghini Super Trofeos taking part this season, and it's 3 20-minute stints with the female drivers starting and finishing the race. Good evening, everybody. I'm David Christie, and joining me tonight is probably one of the most overqualified commentators we've had here on the SimGrid. We've been fortunate enough to steal it away from VLNGs to come and join us for the rest of the season here on More Female Racers by Thrustmaster Rockets. It's none other than the one and only Laura Luft. Laura, welcome on board. Are you looking forward to tonight?
Wow, David, what an introduction, and thanks for having me. I'm pretty excited. So looking forward is More Female Racers by Thrustmasters. It's really an honor, and thanks for everybody in the back who just brought me in, and great to be here and really excited for this race.
It's been an awesome start to the season last time out at Zolder. Obviously, Monza is where we are here tonight at round 2. A very fast circuit, and with so many cars on track, there's a lot that could happen tonight.
That's actually the case, and we do have so many tight corners, especially the corner number 1, where we always see some kind of clashes between cars. We hope it's not happening tonight, but we have seen the pressure is high. It's the second round, and we had seen some funny overtaking situations. People are really pushing because it is a 60 minutes race, and this is why the tension is sometimes rising, but we hopefully see everybody having a clean race and making it to the finish line.
Certainly, and we're looking forward to it. We'll come back to that in just a second, but without further ado, let's take a closer look here at Monza on our hot lap.
Hey everyone, Thea here. I'm going to take you on a Monza lap in the Lambo Super Trofeo using the Coach Dave quali setup. I find watching hot laps really help improving my technique, so I hope you can learn something new from mine, even though there is still time to be gaining this. Monza is famous for its T1. After a long stride, braking at the 150-meter board is vital, and don't be shy turning your wheel to get your car rotated while on first gear. Using all the track at Monza is key, so use that exit curb on the right, watch out for the bumps and exit the chicane full throttle. Go through La Curva Grande full power, going up to 5th gear, and be careful not to drift left too much. You don't want to end up in the grass. Going on to the second chicane, I slam my brakes at the orange marking on the right between the 150 meter and the 100 meter boards, braking into the turn, shifting down to 2nd gear and releasing the brakes to rotate the car. And use all the curb on the left. Going on to Lesmo 1, brake a bit before the orange marking to the right, get down to 2nd gear for a short instant, exit using the AstroTurfs on the left. You will be surprised how much you can use. For Lesmo 2, brake at the 50 meter board, there is a white marking on the right, shifting down to 2nd gear and only use the edge of the apex curb. Make sure you don't use any small boards as a reference, as I can guarantee they will be gone within a second. It took me a while to get the next turn right, as scary. Brake at the bridge and release the brakes, slowly getting towards the apex. Use all the apex curb, the key is to find the track limit. Then I touch the curb on the right, balancing the throttle. Careful, too much of that curb will make you spin. You know you got the line right when you start building your throttle before exiting the last apex. There is a way of fitting it without crashing. Exit speed here is key as you get onto a long straight. Going on to the last famous turn, Parabolica. Patience will be required. Brake at the 100-meter board, going towards the apex on the right, and slowly build up the throttle on the exit. It's really easy here to spin with too much power or invalidate drifting out too much to the left. Now go get that finish line! And I'm curious to know what lap time you did here in the Lambo Super Trofeo, so leave it in the comments. See you on track!
Strong lap time there for Altea Book, aka the Amazante. But we're back then with qualifying straight in to get the job done. Of course, each of the groups getting 10 minutes, so the AMs and the Pro-Ams currently out on track just now getting their qualifying done. And I just wanted to pick something up with you, Laura. You said there about turn 1 at Monza being notorious. What do you mean? I always thought, you know, with GT3s and the likes, that turn 1 at Monza was incredibly clean.
We have seen some other races. Probably it's not in Assetto Corsa Competizione where it happened, but I've seen it in some others that you just missed a braking point sometimes. Yeah, just over pushing, and then you have kind of the first rounds where it's a bit tricky to find actually the braking zone for the Variante del Rettifilo. And I think also we have some other corners which is sometimes getting overtake possibilities. Parabolica sometimes is the case, which is turn 8 before the main straight. And we also have the Lesmo curves where some people just go wide and then people try to turn in and sneak in. So I guess we have pretty great overtaking situations here at Monza, and it's a pretty track. And I'm just so lucky because I've just watched the playback from the last round where you said you're not super fan of Zolder, which I also not am. So I'm happy that we have Monza now in the pack, which everybody normally should know. And I guess it's also one of your favorite tracks, is that right?
Yeah, it certainly is. It's such a fast and aggressive track, and you're absolutely spot on about the overtaking opportunities, especially into turn 1. It's so easy, as you mentioned there, to mistake your braking point on that left-hand side using those brake markers, and by which point you literally just have to close your eyes and hope for the best. Times starting to come in again with a roundabout, so what's that, 5.5 minutes left to go in qualifying. These aren't going to be representative times yet. You're going to have to give them this lap now. This is going to be their fast lap that the teams are setting just now. Expect to see anywhere around about the 152, 153 mark here for the AMs and Pro-Ams. A reminder then, we have got a very special discount code for you, 10% off on the Thrustmaster website if you use the code TMRockets10. That's TM Rockets 10. So if you are buying any Thrustmaster gear, go and save yourself a little bit of money. I love how I'm saying it, and me being Scottish, it kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that we're very, very thrifty as a stereotype. TM Rockets 10. Save yourself a little bit of 10% there. But Josie Austin, pole position at the moment, 153.3 right now. Of course, a very strong result last time out, and yeah, that's a decent time, Laura.
Yeah, definitely it is, and we have seen the lap time with 1:52 from Althea Book, and I hope that we have some more laps which are pretty going down today, because the temperature, of course, is great. We have beautiful weather, it's nice and warm, not always the case in ACC, but yeah, today everybody is fortunate, and the case is that we have really strong drivers. I was so amazed, and that we have so many females out there. This is pretty amazing that everybody's just picking it up right now and just tries to be in that car, which is specifically a bit tricky in the beginning if you have to do your setup yourself. But kudos to everyone taking that notch and just doing it. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, just on that note, the one thing that really impressed me, and we'll talk a little bit more about Altea Book when we see her on track, but I was watching her point of view, her stream from last week, where she got caught up in some incidents, and the seriousness and attitude that these drivers have got has absolutely blown me away. Josie Austin again ratchets up the pressure there, 152.728. That's a huge lap time there just now. But she was involved in an incident where there was heavy damage, and hearing the coaches, the teammates that they've got on voice chat, offering that support, that reassurance and everything, it's something that personally I just love. Knowing how difficult these race evenings are, to have that guidance, to have that support, and to have that helping hand on this makes all the difference. And it's such a wonderful championship to support that sort of thing going on. But 152.728, I mean, that is light years ahead of the second place car. That's the number 46 Love 46 Team MFR of Lyubov Ozretskovskaya that is in second place at the moment, but just 2.5 minutes left to go in qualifying. Laura, I mean, obviously we've spoken a little bit about the track here. How difficult do you think it is going to be having all 28 cars going into Prima Variante for that first time?
I think that it is quite decent that we have just, if I'm not mistaken, this kind of rolling start situation, so that people at least have kind of a chance to sort themselves out where they are on the first corner. But afterwards, I would pretty much guess that for the first 2-3 curves, nobody is pretty much attacking. That would be my suggestion. And we see that the numbers are picking up. We have many times coming in from 1 to 11, and it's still close for the first 3, so this is pretty good, but we still see that this is coming up and picking up from the time speed. And I guess that, and this is what you also mentioned, it's really important that you have a good teammate with you. And I was pretty lucky that I had the chance to drive with Yvonne van den Berg in one of the races together, not in ACC but in iRacing, and this was pretty good. We have a wing buddy, and this is so great that you have a buddy with you. And we see that the numbers and times are picking up and getting better and faster, and I hope that we have it really fast.
Yeah, certainly is. Catherine Hamilton on an absolute blistering lap right now. Goes across. Great improvement from Catherine Hamilton. 2 seconds and just jumps behind Andy Lab there. But meanwhile, Sarah Fair in the number 18 Team Cake Cupcakes car. Won last time out of Zolder, takes pole position right now, and Beta Bochenska, that unfortunately is not how you go round the Parabolica. Very easy mistake to make, because the car's unloaded going round. That right-hander just takes 2 wheels onto the grass, and that is going to be that qualifying session done and dusted. Final laps on for a couple of drivers just now. It looks like the number 11 car, that's the Hitod Racing of Charlotte Robertson, has called it a day. Finishes in 4th place. Great result there for them. And then it's the 152 of Redline Zach Racing Sam Pierce that qualifies in 5th place right now. But here we see Sarah Fair right now for Team Cake Cupcakes right now in the number 18 car, trying to make an improvement on that. But I've got a feeling is going to be Josie Austin on pole position quite comfortably, because I don't think there's anybody on track right now that is on pace to jump in front of that. But Sarah Fair making a little bit of an improvement right now. Sarah Fair could actually get herself up into P4 or 5 just now. This is just coming through. I believe that is actually coming through Variante Ascari for the final time here in qualifying for more female racers by Thrustmaster Rockets. Gets a good exit out of that corner. That car looking very planted, and some big setup work going round into Curva Parabolica for the final time. This is looking very solid indeed for Sarah Fair from Team Cake Cupcakes. Half a second up already. This could be even bigger then. This could be P4 for Sarah Fair out of the final corner. What could you do across the line? It's P5, not quite enough, just 4/100ths of a second behind Robertson. But there we go, that's it done and dusted. It's going to be Josie Austin in pole position. It's going to be Lyubov Ozretskovskaya in 2nd place. 3rd place for Ava de Andrade. Charlotte Robertson in 4th. Sarah Fair in 5th. Sam Pierce in 6th place. Martin Edwards in 7th. Denise Joubert in 8th. Andy Lab in 9th. Beta Bochenska in 10th. You saw going wide at Parabolica there. Catherine Hamilton in 11th. Scarlett Zanoni in 12th. But again, that's all provisional and will almost definitely completely change, Laura, as the pros head out onto the track.
Yeah, pretty much amazing that you have to pull the time together in such a short time, right? You have to make yourself a good spot on the track that you don't have the problem that you are in the pack or cannot really do your time. And we just see that Althea Book is then really having her face is really concentrated every time we see her on camera. So this is where you have to really concentrate to put it together because you don't have so many time to just make it right. But as you said, now we have the pro and silver category running up, and we just see how the times are dropping there. But really impressive what the M last time also did and how they improved over the time, and a great time from Austin with 1:52.
Awesome stuff, and that is a big benchmark to be setting right now, but all eyes surely have to be on that 956, that frightening, scary car of the 956, because they have been absolutely outrageously quick. Is the combination of Mia and Eleonore Rose for the Jorlesi Team Esports. Do not be surprised to see them possibly hitting either the 151s or even could we see a 150 from the Lamborghini Super Trofeo. We'll give them a minute or two to get the warm-up laps completed, coming through down towards Variante Ascari for the first time. But another reminder then as well, we've got a brand new affiliate here at the SimGrid, an ExpressVPN. If you value your privacy and you want to keep prying eyes away, if you are looking to get a new VPN provider, head over to ExpressVPN. If you take a 12-month package with them, get 3 months free from us here at the SimGrid. Head over to expressvpn.com/the SimGrid. That is expressvpn.com/the SimGrid, and you can browse in privacy. Qualifying then, 6.25 minutes left to go. First time going in. Oh my goodness me! Wow, Laura, I said it right away there. 151 flat. Are you kidding me?
She is crazy fast, and I guess the duo itself, I mean, they're unbeatable as what we have seen last time. Is this going to continue in Monza? I pretty much guess so, because, yeah, they're pretty fast anyway, and I guess they love the track as well, like they did in Zolder.
Oh my goodness me, I think race control seriously needs to inspect that car to find the hidden NOS button on that, because that is outrageous. Currently 9/10 of a second ahead of second place. That's Timea Benchik in the 977. Of course, that's the Arnage Competition X Imperium outfit, teamed up with Adam Pinches. But oh my goodness me, that to bring that on lap one, what else have they got in the back, Laura, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, pretty much how long they will be training for this. That would be interesting to know from the drivers, because some said they have a tight schedule and they might not be able to just practice as they want to, but they are like pretty fast, and I'm pretty sure that they spent all night there, and they have a decent setup on their Lamborghini Super Trofeo, which is hard to get. But if you then have an equal time anywhere you drive together and you be consistent and you really love the setup of the car, that's what you pull together, and it's just a straight number we haven't probably not seen in a while.
I've got to say, as a below average sim racer myself, I find chatting to Mia and Inori quite frustrating, because they're so devastatingly fast, and you ask them about, how did you find that race, and they're like, we didn't really have much time for practice, we don't really like the track. And it's like, how can you be that fast and not put that much practice in, where it takes me 2-3 weeks to actually get somewhat reasonable lap times? But I guess, when you've got this much talent, it becomes second nature.
Exactly. Maybe we should give them just another challenge, that they just drive blind next time. Maybe that's something where everybody has at least a chance to beat them, because this is pretty fast. And yeah, they just launch from the start, they directly go full speed, and you have so many seconds already after the first round where they are in the lead, and they stay in there because they don't make mistakes. This is pretty amazing to see that all the females anyway, they just try to improve all the time. And I have just seen some others from the last season too, where they just try to make an effort, and they're pretty good and trying to be concentrated, because I know how hard it is if you just start there being out in the spotlight, and then you have to perform, and you're nervous, and you just maybe don't know the track probably from your pocket, but then they just launch it, they make it ready, and we see a fantastic race from most of them, and it's amazing to see that they really pull that together in such a professional way.
Yeah, it certainly is, and it's a wonderful incentive, isn't it? Because if you look from all the way down the list, it doesn't matter how much you gain, you're almost going to certainly gain a place. If you make a 0.2 increase on your lap time, if you make a half a second, you're always going to be moving forward. And that's a wonderful incentive as a developing sim driver to see yourself going further up the order there as well. So obviously Mia and Enori Rose, incredible talent, away in a league of their own right now. But we're watching Natalie Lee here from Turn 1 Diablo Racing, 0.3 up just now. That would put her in the position to get up into P5 right now. So great lap right here from Natalie Lee. It's all about that run down from Variante Ascari down to Curva Parabolica, and that's up to 0.6 now that she's improved by. This could be third place if this pace continues. Sarah Dove, it could be even pole in class for Natalie Lee. Comes out of Parabolica, looked a little bit wiggly, is going to come across the line. What a lap there for Natalie Lee. Not quite enough though to take that lead in class on that last lap. Great lap as well though from that was Mia Svensson in the number 3 for GTWR Female Racing to move up into second place. That gap coming down even more now, just 0.8 of a second to Mia in pole position there, and we've only got 1 minute 50 left in qualifying, Laura.
Yeah, it's just not much time left, but we have seen as well that so many others have been really good. And also mentioning Denise Pope, you also said last time she was pretty much in the lead for her class, and this is amazing that she just pulls the time together. Maybe she didn't have the chance to launch it at the start, but to see these drivers are really close together until the 10th place, just within 1 second, so to say. But this is pretty close, because when they have a good, decent start, this will be interesting, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, certainly will be. 1 minute 15 left to go in qualifying. And look at that, Mia Rose, 150.913, raises the benchmark even higher. Just as I was saying, Mia Svensson getting closer to them, absolutely ratchets it up a notch, 150.9. And yeah, I'm really impressed with that time. And of course, on another lap as well, so could very well improve on that. Unfortunately, Altea Book has gone into the barriers, and that looked like it was after the first curve de Lesmo, and has to retire that car. Oh, and that's very wide out of Variante Ascari for Eris Aphelion for the GTWR Racing Team. 828, that is not going to do the qualifying lap any good at all. And yeah, you hate to see it. But with 25 seconds left to go, I guess there's no real surprises. Mia Svensson improves again, 151.735. But again, Mia Rose and Enori Rose improve, raise that benchmark even higher, 150.913. Sarah Johnson for GTWR Racing Team gets a little bit of a toll, jumps up in the 10th place. Great lap there. That is from Sarah Johnson. That's a 152.848, and still has enough time to get another lap in here.
I'm so excited to see how the race start will be. I'm just getting already nervous. Always like the same thing when you just be before a race start. How is it with you? I mean, you have commentated on so many races, but still this kind of excitement is always there when you just try to cross keeping the fingers crossed for everybody that it works out. And pretty much crazy times we have seen, and we also see the chat that they're making kudos to the drivers. So pretty amazing how they improved and how fast they are, especially in the first 3 packages close together. And I'm excited. How about you, David?
I am on the edge of my seat. This is going to be absolutely amazing stuff. How do you think you'd compare if you were out there?
Oh my god, I'm not pretty sure. I just only did it once. I haven't had the chance to drive the Lamborghini Super Trofeo, but I guess my time was not 150, so I have to dig out the timings. I just did once. But I have to improve, I guess. Definitely. I have to get some tips from the Roses.
Yeah, they could give me all the tips in the world and I'd still not be able to take them, I tell you. It's, yeah, like banging your head against a brick wall, unfortunately, with myself. But there we go. A huge lap time there for Mia and Enori Rose. Jean Lacey Esports Academy takes pole position in that 956 car with a 150.913, 8/10 of a second ahead of Mia Svensson, the best of the rest in that number 3 GTWR Female Racing Team outfit. 151.735, and that is not a lap time to be sniffed at. It's the 977 of Renage Competition X Imperium of Timea Benchik in third place there. Verena Mai just coming across the line just now. But there we go, that's your top three. We'll go through the grids very, very shortly, Laura, but what a qualifying session that was. And what's that? The top 20 split by 3 seconds.
Yeah, pretty amazing in that we have seen such a good time brought together, and actually we are super excited that Maria Rose and Anori Rose can just start from the first place. And I pretty much guess normally it's not good and it brings bad luck if you just try to anticipate how the race goes, but I pretty much guess they will stay well in the lead if nothing happens, but keeping fingers crossed.
Certainly is. So just a reminder, Black Reverse asking in YouTube chat, how long is the race? It is an hour race split into 3 20-minute stints. The female drivers will be driving the first stint and the last stint, with their nominated second driver, who very well may be another female, in that second spot. So that is what's going to happen here. Is, of course, being Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's going to be a rolling start, so we'll jump onto the grid in just a second and see the cars lining up, doing the final preparations for the race ahead. Strategy is going to be absolutely key. And just on the subject of Mia and Inori Rose, please do not think for a second that this is a foregone conclusion, because what we've seen in the past is that if Mia and Inori don't get into the lead at the start, we've seen it before where they can get bogged down in traffic. Fair enough, they've got the ability to fight their way back through. But I think that's going to be the main chance for anyone behind in the likes of Mia Svensson to get that upper hand, is to just try and get the jump into turn one. Yeah, we hopefully see as well that others might go wide, and Timea Benchik also is always a pretty fast driver, and also having been in the second year, I guess, and I'm pretty much sure that they have some secret spots they try to sneak in, because this grid and actually the first starting line is pretty wide in that sense, but of course it gets really narrow if you have to turn in to the right-hander there. But I would say that they try to just go wide in the first place to make the good positioning for themselves on the track, to at least make some moves in the important first points and seconds of the race. Let's see how it all pans out then. We head gridwards then, and this is how it shapes up. Mia Rose on pole position alongside Mia Svensson. Row 2 is Timea Benchik alongside Sarah Dove. Row 3 is going to be Sophie Eronwin alongside Natalie Lee after that fantastic final lap there. Josie Austin takes 7th place alongside Jenny Kamugli on row 4. Row 5 is Denise Pope and Sarah Johnson. Row 6 is going to be Altea Book, aka the Amasanti, alongside Celine Witcher. Row 7 is Sarah Moore and Verena May. Row 8 is Lyubov Ozaretskovskaya, and then alongside Hedda Rangzater. Row 9 is Avade Andrade and Charlotte Robertson, and then it is row 10 of Sarah Fair and Iris Ephelion. Row 11 is Nathan Pearce alongside Maren Edwards. It's then Denise Joubert alongside Andy the Lab. Beta Pochenska, after that incident in qualifying, is 25th on row 13 alongside Catherine Hamilton. Row 14 is Scarlett Zanoni alongside Julie Redman. And at the back of the grid, in fact, ignore that, I believe it is Julie Redman that is at the back of the grid. Great to see supportive messages coming in. Give us a cheer on in YouTube chat for whoever you are here supporting tonight. Let's know who you think is going to win their individual class, who's going to win the race overall, and what on earth you think is going to happen here, because me and Laura, quite frankly, don't have a clue. It could all kick off tonight. Big round for the championship tonight, and some big points on offer here tonight, Laura. Definitely, and they have to score important points. And what is really interesting, and I guess they have to just try to make another kind of gridding for Josie Austin, because she's in the M category, and I can't believe that, to be honest. According to her time, she was pretty fast as well, and she's quite up high in that rank. And the point system is pretty good, because all people in class until P12, they get points, and this is really great that you at least have the chance to, score some points for the important championship and make a decent start as well in the second round of the more female racers by Thrustmasters. Certainly is. So a reminder of the rest of the season. We head to Spa-Francorchamps round 4. For round 3. For round 4, we go to Kyalami. Brands Hatch is going to be round 5, and then we have a public vote for the final round. That is going to potentially throw a massive spanner in the works for the championship. Here's a wonderful overview of the circuit here at Monza, where the track is steeped in history. One of the most famous tracks here in Europe for both positive and negative reasons, obviously. But very much looking forward to tonight, and we're about to get going on the green flag lap. A very warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you have just joined us here on YouTube, as always, hit that like button if you enjoy what you're seeing. Hit the subscribe button, and you can keep up to date with all of the amazing races that we cover here on the Sim Grid as well. It's David Christie and Laura Luft here for live coverage of round 2 of More Female Racers by Thrustmaster Rockets. And green flag flies. Here goes the formation lap.
It's pretty important that they just warm up their tires so that they are really in a good shape and they not leave enough space, because the leader is then picking up and making it hard for some people to anticipate how they are on the starting line. So that is what we can see right now. They're just trying to move around to warm up the tires to have a good, solid temperature in there once they try to hopefully relaunch and just shoot out for the first corner and trying to make some moves around in this first instance here when we go into Variante del Rettifiglio in number 1. And then as we are looking at right now, you see the beautiful camera angles there, and thanks so much for the director to just bringing that up. So pretty fully pack what we see. And David, I mean, this is really amazing that we have this series and that the female racers have to start as well. So this is important that they do the first stint and also the last one. And some people having as well a male on their side and others are purely female. This is pretty good. And it's great to have this team spirit, because you need a wing buddy to just calm you down, to just give some tips, make sure that everything is right, the strategy is right, and that you make the final points here for the championship.
I couldn't have said that any better myself, Laura. Nor could I have done that pronunciation any better than you did on that one. So you're going to have to please give me some tips on how to pronounce some of these Italian corner names. But in all seriousness, I mean, the hype is starting to build now. Round 2 just moments away as we come through the second Curva di Lesmo, down through towards the Variante Ascari. And again, just on how important it is to get heat into those tyres. It absolutely is. Not only the tyres, the brakes as well, because it's going to be that charge down to Prima Variante, the first chicane, that is going to be so crucial. It's going to be how you get yourself down there. And again, Mia Svensson, you've got to fancy her just to try and take the whole shot and outbrake Mia into that first corner.
Yeah, you're right. The breaking point is really crucial, and I keep my fingers crossed that nobody destroys the cars in the first instant, because that is a point that you mentioned as well last time. You have to make the 23-minute stint, right? You cannot just come into the pits, because that would ruin the strategy.
It certainly would. It certainly would. And strategy going to be such a key part of the action tonight. We'll see how that pans out. But the drivers now given the instruction by race control to head into that double file. So you'll see them splitting off into 2 parts down the back straight here as we get ready to go green here at Monza for round 2. Again, the weaving going on. I always find it quite helpful to hold on the brakes as well, as you see them coming 2 by 2 down towards the Parabolica. Oh my goodness me, the excitement's starting to build up. And yeah, here we get going. I'm excited, Laura. I hope you are too. We're going round Parabolica then for the first time of an hour race, 3 20-minute stints. The female drivers taking the first and last stints here. It was a huge round last time out at Zolder. What are we in store for here tonight at Monza? It's going to be the charge down to Prima Variante. It's a very early start line, and all 28 cars get round that final corner as we wait to go for the green flag. just 5 seconds from now. It's going to be Mia Rose leading the charge down. And away we go. Green flag drops, and it is a drag race down to the first corner. Mia Svensson gets the run down, but is going to have the disadvantage of being on the outside for turn 1. But look at that run that Mia Svensson's got. Mia Rose tries to outbrake, and look at that late onto the brakes as well. But Mia Rose straight into first position there, and it's all very orderly here into turn 1. A little bit of brake check in there. Oh, Jeremy, car off into the gravel there, and that is going to affect some of the AM drivers down there. We've got a car pitched sideways as well. Okay, so what you might have said earlier, Laura, about turn 1 at Monza may have just actually happened there.
Unfortunately, sometimes I feel like really bad because I just speak that out and then it happens. Maybe I should keep my mouth shut the next time, but it's pretty tricky because you think that the first person in front of you is really braking maybe too late or is braking too early, and then you don't anticipate it, and then you have no chance. You lock up the wheels, and then you have this kind of effect that you in the last place have no chance to maybe avoid it because everything is already blocked. But we see that here, that as well, they just have at least an corners coming up because it's Curva del Resmo and Curva del Serraglio. They just drive until then down the bridge where they come into Variante Ascari, and this is where we are right now, and you see that they're just picking up and trying to overtake here as well. This is Denise Pope. She's trying to sneak in there, but she has to just hold her lines back because otherwise then you just really roll the car. No, she spins! This is really when the tires are sometimes not really heated up, but she let everybody pass. That is really important that she just come not really straight back onto this circuit, and she's trying to go backwards here. Oh yeah, she has to wait, and this is really massive problem there because you lose all the places and have to really wait until everybody's past her. But luckily she didn't smash the car, and she's there now and she can go again flat out. You have to take it from the back.
Yeah, you certainly do. I mean, that is absolutely gut-wrenching for Denise Pope, and there's nothing worse as a sim racing driver when that happens, when you've got nobody else to blame but yourself, and we've seen it in countless other championships. I mean, silver class leader, it's just absolutely heartbreaking to see that. However, if ever there was somebody to make a charge back through the field, it's going to be Denise Pope, so we watch with bated breath to see what happens there as Ozretskovskaya tries to make a dive up the inside in the 103 there. That was Ransater that was making the move actually on the inside there, just in the background there. So great move there as we see Charlotte Robertson trying to get the move done on Verena Mai, while Aphelion in the 828 looking very, very feisty just now. And again, you know, it's all about this early wrangling, trying to make these positions, and there's contact from Charlotte Robertson. They get very, very lucky with that. Nobody spins out there, but again, just misjudging the braking. So very easy to do.
Yeah, it's a bit of contact sport, what we always see, especially when it's a cup class, right? You just have the same material, you have to be really spot on, and that's what they do, because 60 minutes seems to be like a long hour race, but actually you have 23 minutes where you literally are in a qualifying lap all the time, because you have to make a good lap time, you have to try to overtake because you want to give it to your next driver waiting up in line. And this is what I really find interesting, that the spirit of all the drivers is also the same. No matter if there are mistakes, you have your body to cheer you up and you don't give up. And this is important because you are there trying to make the first move, and you sometimes have to be risky, and this is even good that you at least try. And we see that actually the second round and the second kind of attempt here is pretty good, because we haven't seen any bad kind of situations coming up, and they're trying to really overtake already, which is kind of a nice move here. They're going wide and trying to regain that. Is really good switch then there, perfectly made in the Parabolica, and this is what we want to see. Close sim racing, wheel-to-wheel racing, this is what it is about.
Oh, that was awesome. Charlotte Robertson, give her credit, she tried to fire it up the inside of Parabolica, had to go dived in wide, and then managed to get the cutback, did the 103, and around the outside of turn 1. That's a huge move for Charlotte Robertson. Oh, that was incredible. Late on her brakes and just fires it round the outside. Beautiful move from Charlotte Robertson in that number 11. That was impressive stuff from the Hitold Racing driver. Great stuff. We've got 2 laps into the books already, and the gap between Mia Rose and Mia Svensson now already 2 seconds. And I've got to say, just right at the outside, oh my goodness me, what a dive up the inside. Contact Oh, that was so unfortunate that that came together from Rangsater. You saw trying to fire it up the inside there, late on the brakes there. I've got to say, I don't think if she hadn't touched that curb, I think that would have been a stunning move there. Unfortunately, I think that is going to be a penalty from the stewards there because the contact was made. And just as I was away to say, the standard of driving from tonight to Zolder is absolutely incredible in the difference. The drivers have improved so much. They're taking chances. They're being patient here just now. Wonderful to see that improvement.
Exactly, and also what you want to say, it is courage what it takes, right? Sometimes it doesn't pay off, but then in the end you need to have a really hard to get it running. And Ella Gobi, which we see here, she was also pretty fast in the last time, and she's trying to sneak up and see how close it is together, because we have only tenths of a seconds which they are together. And we're now jumping to the battle of P4 and 5. So this is pretty great to see that we also have the split screen here and don't miss any of the hot action. And yeah, I'm pretty amazed by this kind of overtaking situations we have in the pack of 3 all the time. The Parabolica, they go wide by the side and then switching positions, which is pretty amazing to see. And now how we see that in the first corner, who is taking it up. So hopefully they sort themselves out, and this is amazing.
Oh wow, so that is a huge change then, because Osrotskovskaya has lost the AM lead to De Andrade in the 24. Oh, and that is a bit of a moment there for Sarah Bear onto the entrance of the first corner there. And I wasn't sure if that was a little bit of fisticuffs going on there, but look at this, Osrotskovskaya still in the battle here. This is the battle then for P16. De Andrade blocks off that line, says no thank you, you're not getting past there, and that was good defence there from De Andrade in the number 24. That is of course the Mia Esports outfit. Have a look in the background there though, because there is the number 21. And that is, of course, Map 1 Racing's Alu Gobi, teamed up with Jens Kaiser, who is lurking in the background there. Something quite rotten. I've got to be honest, I think great start there from Alu Gobi, started at the back of the field and already up into 18th place. Makes the move there side by side down the run through towards the left-hander there at Variante Ascari through the chicane. Alu Gobi jumps over the curbs there. Oh, that was yeah, that was a little bit naughty, if I'm honest. Oh, and Osrotskovskaya spins it on the exit of Variante Ascari and has to think better of it. That is going to be a huge loss there. Yeah, you hate to see it.
I hope she's not stuck there, because normally it should go around. Yeah, now she recovered it. But the thing is that just 2 others have to go there, and then, oh, they go wide and just on the grass, but probably there is problem with the others who are trying to avoid that, but yeah, at least that we see that what the stewards are doing, and at least in the back, and it's really kind of picking it up because you try to recover and try to make a move. And we are in the 3rd place now with Timia Benchik. She's trying to be as well close there, and 0.2 seconds she's really stuck in there and trying to make a move on Mia Svensson, and then she's trying to keep that up, but misses it now a bit. And then in the back we see some cars going wide, but the heat is picking up, and sometimes you really have to be patient to just wait a bit, because the next corner is definitely there for you. And we have so many people are really close together as well on P5 and 6.
We see our first car at the pits, Sam Pearson, the 152 machine into the pits. That's Redline Zach Racing. You've got to think that they've been caught up in some sort of drama there. 51 minutes left to go in the race. We're almost halfway through the first stint for our drivers here, and what a race it's been already. Mia Rose already off into the sunset, 5 seconds to the good over Mia Svensson. But that battle for second place is kicking up nicely, because Timia Benchik just 0.7 of a second behind there, and that is going to be one heck of a battle when that actually gets going, because they'll then start bringing through. Here we go with the first of the replays then, and this is Denise Pope in the number 79 NSN Wild Things machine on the entrance to that is Variante Ascari there. Again, so easy to do it. I have done that many times. You just miss your braking point, too focused on the cars around you, and the car just doesn't like it on that first lap, where the tyres aren't up to temperature, the brakes aren't up to temperature. and it just over-rotates. And there we see Timea Benchik really struggling to get that car round Prima Variante there. That's bringing Sarah Dove back into the mix as well, so there could be battle going on for third place as well. And the number 15, I think it was there, going very, very slowly. In fact, no, sorry, that was the what was that? That was the 150 or something. Yeah, that was Altea Book. Looks like having a bit of a problem going through Prima Variante as well. More replays. Poor Mike Yao, our broadcast director, is going to have a busy night tonight. This is over the curbs into Variante Ascari there for the 46, and oh my goodness me, again just trying so hard for Lyubov Ozretskovskaya, trying to catch that place back up. The red mist descends and unfortunately spins it on their own, and oh my goodness me, that is one heck of a hit at the same time there on Variante Ascari. Well, Laura, I hope you weren't expecting, an easy shift for your first commentary gig here at the SimGrid.
I like that, actually, to be honest, because this is what we want to see, that there is action out there. And as well, in this, we see the replay again, that where they touched it and where they spun. This is what we have seen, whereas it was a huge impact where 3 cars were involved in this kind of situation. On the replay now we see it from the bird perspective. And yeah, I mean, this is the case that we try to make it as spectacular as we want, but especially in the Parabolika, you have to make a move, and this is where we are in the replay still right now, where they overtook each other. And actually I pretty much like the action, because that is what we want to see. And there where you had this over-steering situation and where she just touched the wall, kind of the car hopefully seems to be fine. And yeah, we're back on the live action there. We are sitting on the 16th place, where we go back and forth with all these great racers, and Gobi also jumped into 15th place.
Yeah, Lou Gobi there, a stunning recovery drive there, already up into the top 15. We've got 8 minutes left to go in the first stint of 3 tonight. Watching this battle with De Andrade and Rangsetter, brilliant action into turn 1 there. De Andrade fancied a little nibble there. That was never going to happen, and actually ends up leaving them vulnerable to Andrade there. This is awesome fighting going on right now. Brilliant stuff here, and thank you very much to everyone that is joining us tonight to watch this here on the SimGrid. More female racers by Thrustmaster Rockets, round 2 here at Monza, and I was distracted there because another yellow flag comes out, and that is at turn 1, and I've got a horrible feeling that might have been Altea Book that was caught up in that one. That was, in fact, sorry, that was the 152. That was Nathan Pierce. So Sam Pierce looks like handed over the car to Nathan already, which means that that's going to be an extra stint required towards the end of the race.
Yeah, hopefully that's not messing up the strategy. That in that sense it is, unfortunately, but hopefully they can recover from that. Where we also see that is really getting close on the 13th place, where we see Natalie Lee, and they're also going wide here over there, trying to give each other space, and hopefully then doing the move there where, luckily the directors are directly on that spot where we have this kind of 0.2 seconds behind, and also the cars are pretty much kind of in a bad shape in the front, but this is aerodynamically the problem. But still, you have to go wide and run there, and you just still need to fight for this position, as is what they do.
Yeah, and just to put things to rest, Altea Book, avoiding all of the issues there, is actually still up in 8th place there. It was the 152 that I saw having a yellow flag there. But we're on board with Sarah Dove. Great angle this as chases down Timea Benchik in that 977 ahead. What a run that is through the chicane down into the Lesmos, through that first Lesmo, then into the second Lesmo, the right-hander. This one is notoriously difficult, so easy to misjudge this one, but excellent run through the corner there from Sarah Dove. Oh, gets the run then on to Timea Benchik. They're going to be side by side on the run down to Variante Ascari. Sarah Dove trying to take it round the outside because Timea Benchik forces it that way on the inside. What a move this is going to be if managed to pull this off, but I think it's going to have to think discretion is a better part of valor. Tucks in, and this is going to be all about the exit from Variante Ascari. It's going to have the slipstream down this back straight, and this is surely going to be a move then for Sarah Dove in towards third place. This is epic, epic stuff as we end the first stint there. What a brilliant part of defensive driving there for Timea Benchik, forcing Sarah Dove to go around the long way. And again, it's going to have to be a case of regrouping, tuck back behind the slipstream of Timea Benchik and possibly try a dive into turn one.
That's a pretty smart way of trying to keep away from her, and also then what you do right here, you always can cross the line one time to just give them no slipstream, which is pretty clever from her, and this is what she does. So then there is no chance to overtake in this action here, and from what we see there is yellow flags again, but no problem, we just go on with the green light. And what we have seen, Natalie Lee had to go into the pit lane because from her kind of damages she might have to repair a bit earlier than expected, but we see a pretty much close fighting here for the top 2 and 3 positions, or 3 and 4. This is pretty amazing, and what we also see later in the field that people are picking up, especially also 16 and 15, so it's getting closer and they just still try to fight. And what you also last time has said, there are not people really completely alone on the track. You always have these kind of battles between 3, 2, 4 cars, and here again she's trying to make the move and being really, really on her back, and this is interesting to see how this lap will continue.
Well, out of the Lesmos again on the run. It's all about this slipstream right now. A little bit further back than she was last lap rounds here as they come down towards Variante Ascari. Again, it's going to be a case of just trying to get the run through the chicane nice and smooth and get that exit, because it's all about the slipstream. Has got it done though. It's all going to be about this run down to Curva Parabolica as we go in towards the 9th lap, and this is going to be the final one, I believe. Maybe 2 remaining for our first drivers before they jump in to do that driver change. Here we go on the entrance to the Parabolica again. Timea Benchik for our large competition X Imperium expertly puts that car exactly where it needs to be to keep that car at bay. Meanwhile, Mia Svensson in second place has extended that gap because of this fight going on. But look at Dove behind, tucked underneath as far as possible with that Lamborghini. Again on the inside goes Timea Benchik, tries to run onto the grass there. They're side by side into turn one. Timea Benchik, there's a tiny little rub on the panel there, but again, for the most part, incredible respectful driving from these two drivers to be side by side and only the slightest of paint traded there.
Pretty amazing to see how they make it really in the last bits and pieces. This is 3 wide, kind of trying to get in there and also crossing the lines, trying to make the move. This is Alagobi. She's pretty also trying to make her way through the way where Althea Book is already in the pits lane, and this is also where it's really tight there, and we try to make the moves on 2 or 3 cars, and we also got in a penalty. I'm just trying to find it on my desk, but probably this is where we are in the action right now. We see this kind of moving around all the time. The penalty is not right there. Is the drive-through for car 13 for avoidable contact, and still here the recovery is pretty good from the car 21 to just trying to not make the move.
Yeah, brilliant action there from Lukobi. Confirmation then that penalty for Team Cakes Mascara and Hope. That's Catherine Hamilton getting the drive-through penalty for avoidable contact. That was for an incident that happened on lap 3 involving the 152 car. That was the Redline Zach Racing. Many of the AMs already making their way into pit lane just now, getting that done and dusted. But what a drive for Alu Gobi and Map 1 Racing. This is stunning stuff. Remember, 28 and at the back of the grid, and manages to get through. Brilliant exit through the chicane there, and it's all about the exit here. Surely it's going to be Sarah Johnson for lunch, and it might even be Celine Witcher and Jenny Kamugli for supper and dessert as well. 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th all in a row coming down, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th here coming into the Parabolica, and it goes very wide, and that is I believe that actually might be a lapped car. From looks of it, it is. That's Catherine Hamilton jumping out of the way as well there to get that done. So Alu Gobi has to regroup and think again to try and catch up to Sarah Johnson there on the entrance to turn 1. But 20 minutes in the books already. Oh my goodness me, Laura, this race has had everything so far.
Exactly, the excitement is always there, and we have so many split screen where we actually also have great camera perspective to see how close it is on this kind of grid, and where we also see in the live timing that so many groups are in 2 or 3 picking up together with not much gap there left for everybody and trying to make the moves already before they come into the pit lane, which is crucial. Then you just give the car to your teammate and making a good move so that they are quick out on the track. And here still we have a pack of 3 trying to make the move, and it's pretty great to see how wide they use the track, which is actually important to just speed up and get the good time and close the gaps to your peers in the front.
And talking of closing the gap, look at how quick Alu Gobi can close up to Sarah Johnson in that 888 car ahead with Celine Witcher just in front. This is epic, epic stuff. And there you go, the move already done on Sarah Johnson. As cool and calm as you like. Maybe even recognising that Alu Gobi just a faster car there and deciding to let them through and hopefully just keep in the slipstream and bring it on. But Celine Witcher, now the next target there. We've got another penalty again for lap 3. This is the incident involving the 103 and the 11. That was the Turn 1 Norway car and the 11 of Hitode Racing's Charlotte Robertson. It's a drive-through for Hedda Rangsater for avoidable contact. So that is a huge, huge penalty there for the number 103 car. And yeah, you hate to see it because Hedda did a cracking job there. And it's a stop-go 30 for the 828 GTWR female racing team of Eris Aphelion. That was the teammates to the lady that raced with you, Laura, Yvonne van den Berg.
Yeah, exactly, and this is speeding in the pit lane normally what you have here, and this is what comes really tricky with that, because this gives you a lot of time pressure there to make up the points and hope, keeping fingers crossed they can make their moves and go back, but this penalty is quite a bit what you have to be there, and then yeah, this is pretty much the problem here for the 828, but yeah, hopefully they make their way up again, and cheering up for Yvonne that she can make it happen.
Yeah, well, 38 minutes left to go in the race.
And hopefully that we just see her exploring that. We have so many now in the pits, of course. We have Sarah Witcher, who is also there, Ellen Gobi and Sarah Johnson. They're all in there, and they came in at the same point, which is pretty amazing, because that's what you want to have, that you just don't lose the time and be together and trying to make the move, because it's important when you come out of the track where you are on the racetrack then directly, because that gives you the time to overtake and make some smart moves. We don't talk normally over the undercuts and overcuts in that sense because we have enough to deal with, but I guess for some they have a good strategy pack, and also the team bosses there together. And yeah, David, this is pretty amazing what we see right now here, and that they're going right there trying to make the moves all the time, picking up the speed and numbers, and yeah, I'm speechless of how impactful this race is, David. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm speechless as well, so much so I accidentally pressed the mute button, but I won't tell anyone if you won't. It's not like we've got 180 people watching right now. It's fine. It's fine. 36 and a half minutes left to go in the race, and what a race we have had right now. This is back on board with Turkey for the 888 side by side with Corbin, and what a move up the inside. That was awesome stuff, and that is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. What a move up the inside. That is for third in class then. The GTWR female racing number 4 of Gira Turkey. Absolutely shown how it's done. But look at this. The 100 isn't done just yet. Turn 1 Canada's Chris Corbin tries to fire it up the inside. Thinks better of it. Oh my goodness me. That was shaping up to be an excellent, excellent battle there. But what a move from Jirki there. Great, great stuff. And oh, wow, I just cannot believe what we've seen. Oh my goodness me! No! The silver leader has got stop goal 30. That is going to be for speeding in pit lane as well. And Stefan Chapman is going to be the one that has to take that.
Yeah, pretty much the problem that you just have this kind of situation now going up and you just bite your fingernails, because this is a key turner in that race, probably for the number 7 here on the grid, and they are like, yeah, second on the grid right now. They come into the pit lane and shortly just taking their penalty, but also we have Mia Svensson, she's in the pit and now just trying to make the move then out there. We have 12 laps already running from a rear rows, and this is amazing of how they do this in the front. They have so much power there, and 12 seconds already gaining from this time on. And this is like a huge kind of improvement. They have no mistakes at all, no errors, and just go with the flow. And also we just see how they move now on. We are at car number 7, Declan Bowler here, just trying to make the move on to number 6, which is car 137, the M car on 6th place.
Oh man, that is absolutely devastating for the number 7 GTWR female racing number 6 car, Sophia Aronwan and Stefan Chapman. I tell you what though, that is going to be absolutely delightful news for the 101 Turn 1 meets Biscuit crew of Jenny Camugli and Declan Bowler. They will be absolutely dancing around the room right now on voice chat with that news, because that's going to put them ahead in the standings at the moment for that silver class. So huge news. And indeed, Jenny Camugli in YouTube chat very respectfully saying that that might put them up into P1 in class. Very likely will, but look at this. Here is Declan Bowler with a move. I believe that is that's Lloyd Davis, isn't it? Up the inside. Great stuff there. And that is actually Declan Bowler goes wide at the Parabolica, and Lloyd Davis takes that place back. It's going to be an absolute dogfight down this start-finish straight. Declan Bowler tucks in for an extra helping of Slipstream today. Oh wow, what's going to happen as they come side by side down the main straight here? It's Ridley and Lloyd Davis on the outside into turn 1, and Ridley and Lloyd Davis actually makes a meal of it for himself there, overcooks it and hands that place to Declan Bowler. We see contact in the background. I think that might have been was that Jerry Turkey and Corbin again in a bit of an issue there. Might not have been. We'll get an idea shortly, but have a look in the background there, because the number 21 of Turkey, that is of course Jens Kaiser, that's in the background there. Teammates to Lou Gobi, they're really on for a strong position. They could even get into the top 5 right now.
Yeah, the speculations are really running. Also, the chat is going wild, which is pretty good, because they just cheer up for their drivers, which they have on the grid, and they're firing this up. This is really important that you have the support out there, and also in the chat they can see it and they can read it out to the teammates, just giving that extra nudge to push down, pedal to the metal. And what we see as well here down the straight, and also the good positioning here of the car in green to make the move and overtaking situation there. So this is important, and you speed up in Variantas car and just make the move, and now they have changed positions here, and it is great racing what we see, trying to make the move as fast as possible and gain the points, and also the important topics which we have already always all the time, that they are in a team together and they're just trying to make the best out on track, which we have seen so far is pretty amazing.
Yeah, teamwork and support and consistency, as we said, the order of the day here at Monza, so important for these drivers to get the consistency and the speed just right every single lap. But fantastic effort from Radiant Lloyd Davis there. Here we cut to the battle. This is for 16th and 17th. I believe that is the 24 car just in front that is getting devoured. That is, of course, Lucas Montrezor for the Mia Esport team, and making that move look very, very easy is the number 8 of Harry Conway up the inside into Parabolica. Thank you very much, and minimal of drama. So that is P16 now for Harry Conway. Next on the list is going to be the number 3 of Chris Hartfeld, just ahead for that 15th place. Chris Hartfeld, that is Austin's, excuse me. We cut away there to the 316 of Daniel Austin's teammate with Andy Lab. Try to go around the outside of the number 11 of Cosmo Marsh there. What a move that was. The pace that he has got in that Lamborghini Super Trofeo is something else. Moves to the inside down towards turn 1. They're going to be side by side, and you've got to feel that Austin is going to try outbrake it. Certainly does into turn 1, makes the move stick, and that was a textbook dive up the inside for that first corner.
Really not much to add here. Pretty much amazing of what they see here, and also trying to defend the positioning, and it goes again. Of course, they are not trying to hold back because the battle is always there, and we have another penalty coming in. Cars involving 57 and 152, which is getting the penalty for 152. No, for the 57, unfortunately. Apologies for that. 50 seconds penalty because of the avoidable contact we had, and there are some stewarding already on the move. They had a lot of stuff to cover up, and this is what unfortunately comes there for the car 57, which is Jonathan Lee, with this 15 penalty. And we have another discount, probably. That's what you want to announce, David.
Yeah, certainly is. Again, me being Scottish, I always try to save that money. 10% off at Thrustmaster if you use the code TMRockets10. TMRockets10 for 10% off the Thrustmaster e-store. Head over to thrustmaster.com and get yourself a little bit of a cheeky bargain as well. My recommendation is the T300 RS because I bought it myself and it is blooming fantastic. Best wheel I've had to date, and I've had a number of wheels, so absolutely recommended. TM Rockets 10 and get yourself a bargain. Jens Kaiser though, what a performance from Map 1 Racing, the last car on the grid. Let's just take a second to put that into perspective. 28 cars, 23 positions gained. That is outrageous performance for Jens Kaiser and Lou Gobi in that Map 1 Racing team. Stunning result. Ridian Lloyd Davis here, still trying to catch back up to Jira Turkia, who is up into 7th place just now. But I've got to be honest, Ridian doing a great job in that 137, of course, taking over the reins from Josie Austin, that leading AM car. And the performance they're putting in tonight, they definitely don't look like amateurs.
No, definitely not. They should just be like definitely in the pro category or in the silver one, because they are right in the front there and training the lead, and this is great to see how fast they are. And also, even if the car is a bit sliding down the parabolic, they just hold the horses off this kind of Italian atmosphere we have here at Monza, which is also great to hear. I mean, unfortunately, we should have more sound coming to us, because that is what we want to hear and this is what we want to see. And here down the main straight, we see how maybe then the slipstream cuts in, because the points are 0.85 behind that 40 positioning. And now we swap again to Jonathan Lee, who had this kind of issue with repairing them. And also the 15 seconds penalty they had here on the 57, and they're just trying to sneak in there back and forth all the time, the battle with 103, and this is really getting close. And look at the livery. Actually, that's what I wanted to say. I'm pretty happy of how much effort they put as well into just making a nice livery onto their car and on the livery, and also in terms of the setup.
Yeah, a lot of work, a lot of preparation going in for these cars. Jonathan Lee, though, playing catch-up, trying to catch on to the back of the number 11. That is Cosmo March again, around the outside. Surely not. Are you kidding me? Round the outside of the Parabolica. They're side by side down the line, and that is the move of all moves there from Jonathan Lee. What are you playing at? That was amazing. But the thing is that Cosmo Marsh has the inside line for turn 1. Is it going to be late on the brakes for Cosmo? No, the move is done. That is incredible for Jonathan Lee up the inside to take 23. The battle for the silver lead, though, still on right now. Declan Bowler is currently going side by side with Jiri Turkia. What a run. But Jiri Turkia thinks better of it, and Declan Bowler lives to tell the tale another day. We're already 14 minutes into our second stint just now, just 6 minutes away from the pit stops. But here we go then, Jiri Turkia. Here's the slipstream. The turbo button is pressed, and away up the inside into turn 1. Jiri Turkia tries to take a position from Declan Bowler, moved on, round of applause, and the crowd go wild.
Pretty decent drive in that sense that you have to really make up your braking point on this kind of position and being precise on it, and this is what had happened. And actually we haven't seen so much waving down the straight line, so they just didn't even get each other some slipstream, and this is what they try to do right now here, but they try to fend the line and making the move, which is pretty great from the 888 here. But the gap is not that big, so he has to make up the move, but this is the lead right now for the silver category in the 6th place for Jiri Turkia.
Great to see our fellow commentator Jess with us tonight, making a great point there that these cars are brilliant around Monza. Definitely, I agree. I think we are in for an absolutely epic finish and nail-biting finish as well. Dizzy Adventure also pointing out that Denise Pope and Rob Taplin have recovered after that drive-through penalty to 13th place in that 79 car. Great comeback drive for them. And 25 minutes left to go. Still a lot to keep going with. Drive-through for the 997. That is going to be Verwey that gets a drive-through. I don't think that's a penalty. I think that's a track limits for the 997. Oh, sorry, that is from the stewards. That was Beta Bachenska that was in the car sharing with Errol Verwey. But yeah, here we go. Still on board with Jerry Turkia in 6th place in that silver lead. But oh my goodness me, Jerry Turkia absolutely storming down. And do you know what? I've got to be honest, I think Jens Kaiser in that 21 could be on for 4th place. Here's the team standings in live for silver class. Turn 1 meets Biscuit in the 101 up into that 1st place there. And NSN Racing losing that lead. That is, of course, Denise Pope and Rob Taplin by 1 point. And, you know, at this early in the season, Laura, that is a huge psychological advantage.
Yeah, it's tight already now in the 2nd lead, and this makes it also really interesting because we really cannot determine who is actually getting till the end of this great series and make it up there. And this is great that we have this kind of close battle and not already the standing points there laid out for everybody of us. So this is great that we have the battles on the tracks where they can make their moves, and great drive here, and he's just really pushing it as well. So he's just trying to make another recovery and maybe just trying to gather all the others who are in front of him. So yeah, pretty fast flying there from the car number 888. And we still have also some short amounts of where we jump back to the 0.5 seconds where we have Aurelian Cross directly in the 26 car just getting there, and also we have a close lead from the car number 18. So it's pretty much picking up already from the 23 last minutes we see here in terms of the gaps and also the potential overtakes.
Yeah, for sure. As you said, 23 minutes left to go. Here is the live standings for the Pro Class. No surprises to say. It's a perfect 2 from 2 so far for the 956. Jean Lacey Esports Academy and Mia and Enore Rose. I've got to say, I mean, that is an exemplary performance. It's difficult, isn't it, when you're a team like Map 1 Racing in our Nash competition, ex-Imperium, because when you have this sort of competition, you have these sorts of opponents, this is what defines you as a driver. Are you the sort of driver who looks at Mia and Enore and goes, oh, I'm never going to catch them, so there's no point, and just sort of gives up? Or do you see them as a benchmark to what the car's possible of, what you can possibly achieve, and think, well, I can push that a little bit harder and maybe I'll be able to get a little bit closer? It really does define, just what sort of a driver, Laura, that you're going to be seen as.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of mental in that sense, because you think you can just try to make the move and try to tweak around with the setup, but you have to be pretty confident with the car and on the specific track. You have to make some changes in between, but they probably, they must be sleeping in their sim rig, to be honest. It's pretty obvious because the timings they have, the gap, is now 15 seconds ahead of this. And probably you can still fight for position 2 and 3, but you shouldn't give up on that, because it's also brilliant still from the leaders on the 2nd and 3rd position here. And we are back on the action on the front splitter of Trevor Jackson on the 104, and we see the standings here, which is giving the Team Cake, Angel Cake, M Cars also the lead with 50 points up before the Mia Esport with 35, and they just see it's also close together. So hopefully they're just picking up a bit more, but the 1st place is already quite decent ahead.
Yeah, great start for Josie Austin's and Rudian Lloyd-Davis there in that 137 car. Just the final comment on Mia and the Rose there, you said about them going to sleep in their sim rigs. And, you know, you just know for a fact that in their dreams they've got a warning about pressure loss on the left rear coming through. But joking aside, going back to the race with 20 minutes left to go, we're now going to start seeing pit stops coming in. Rudian Lloyd-Davis into the pits. That'll be handing over for the final stint. Josie Austin going to jump back in the car. And again, Laura, strategy is going to be so important. I think we're going to see some big jumps here from some of the drivers.
Definitely, you have to make the move where you are coming out of the pits, and we see already here that cars, especially when they are lapped, they are pretty making no interaction at the moment right here into the lead cars, so they give enough space, and there was not a problem with the overtaking. There's a really a good surround view of all the drivers there to just not come into the battles for position here, where we have seen that Trevor Jackson still there on the edge of number 18, which is in front, and also we have here jumping over the sausage curbs directly. There's 997, which also had the problems there in Errol Vera, just trying to make the move here and getting the position, and this is going into the Parabolica side by side, and this is wheel-to-wheel racing also in the back, so this is pretty amazing of how they make the move, going wide there around the outside, and this makes not just trying to fight it back, so you have to see if you kind of speed up from the inside. No, but the 997 just takes it from the outside, and where we also see the battle in the back.
Into the pit lane, Cosmo Marsh, you see, not learning the lesson, and twice getting taken around the outside of the Parabolica. Meanwhile, back with Trevor Jackson for turn 1, Sargil Racing, going to be coming into the pits very, very shortly to hand back the wheel to Verena Mai, being chased down by, look at Sebastian Handler there in that number 18 car for Team Cake Cupcakes, going to be coming in as well to hand over to Sarah Fair. But oh my goodness me, Verena May is going to be getting back behind that wheel, and I think she is going to be absolutely loving the fact that she'll be right in the thick of the action with just 18 and a half minutes left to go. First driver then at the top of the tables then back in is the 150, and of course that is Altea Book, the Amazante, back behind the wheel and currently in 4th place, but I think that might change as the order updates itself. So Laura, 18 minutes left to go. We've got a little bit of a breather here while we do the pit stops. What do you make of your first rounds here on More Female Racers by Thrustmaster Rockets?
I'm always getting more and more nervous because I want to jump back into my sim rig as well, where we see the overtaking situation here from the lapped cars. 104 just making the move quite easily going through there. And this is, where you have nice races to watch. It's pretty much in what we always say, it's real racing, what we definitely see here. Although it's a sim race, it's so great from the power performance and everybody having a clear and cool head around that. Just no big accidents and power oversteer right out of the gravel kind of thing, but he makes the move, so catches the car, which is pretty good sim racing what we see here.
Impressive car control there on the exit the corner. Oh, we come back to Beta Bachenska. Excuse me, no, that wasn't Beta Bachenska. That was the number 11. And that was Hitod Racing's. That might be Charlotte Robertson that's back behind the wheel if they've done the pit stop in that car. If so, that just had confirmation there. It is Charlotte Robertson. And again, it shows again how difficult it is, because you step into the car, you've got new tyres potentially on the car, and it's getting back into it as we see the 316 there with that stop-go 30 for Strix Racing, and that is going to be Andy the Lab for speeding in the pit lane. That is absolutely devastating to see that. But again, I did mention this earlier, Laura, compared to round 1 at Zolder, where it was a frenetic and a fairly chaotic start to the season, the quality of racing, the quality of respect, the quality of driving standards has been exemplary tonight. It has been just night and day with how the improvements have gone. We'll come back to that in a second. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, we have our brand new partners and affiliate link here with ExpressVPN. If you value your safety and privacy online, head over to ExpressVPN and get yourself a year's service. If you take a 12-month plan, you can get 3 months free if you use our link there, expressvpn.com/thesimgrid. You can download their client and keep yourself protected across your devices. expressvpn.com/thesimgrid. But Laura, as I was saying, between Zolder and now, the improvements that all the drivers have made has been absolutely incredible.
Definitely can totally relate to this, and also the teammates have done a pretty decent job, as what we have seen right now, where Sebastian Handler is trying to make the move there and tucking in. So Jonathan Lee as well on 11th place. They just still made their ways up pretty much fast, and we still are jumping back and forth. And also Andy the Lap we still have seen here on the 20th place, where they're all three together now as well, trying to not mess up with the lapped cars here and make the move. So it's pretty close together, also in the different kind of categories, and the racing is fair, I have to say. They give each other super space, they're more cautious there, and now they brake really late into the pit entry. Hopefully that's not a problem with the speeding again, but this was pretty last move. Sebastian Handler here, who were trying to give back the car to Sarah Fair there, and he is trying, and he's happy, as you can see, because he's wiggling around with the car. So pretty move there, what they're doing, and all the top cars are now back in the pits.
Yeah, you hate to say it, but the 152 having a bad day go. Even worse, bringing out the yellow flags there. That was into, I believe that was at the chicane, the second Variante chicane. Gets going again, but again they've had a miserable evening just now, and there's a huge crash at the Parabolica. Robertson into Alice Horton. In fact, I believe that'll be Catherine Hamilton that's behind the wheel of that one just now. So that was the 11 on the 13, and the 828 is off as well. That's the Yvonne van den Berg, or it might be actually Eris Aphelion that's having a moment here. It is all kicking off. The 46 had a yellow flag as well. The 26 brings out a yellow flag. That's Sarah Moore. Oh my goodness me, what on earth is going on just now? It's because I said about the driving standards, isn't it, Laura?
Yeah, sometimes we should.
I've jinxed it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I always think myself. I should not say it, but yeah, Sarah Moore also having kind of a problems there today, but she was just tucked in by somebody else and also just touched at one point, but she made a move, and then hopefully then we just also find out what was going on there, and we are back on the 16th place with Denis Joubert on the team there for TCN Ladies Racing, and it's pretty going wild, especially in the last 12 minutes there, and this is what we expect normally from the race, that it picks up in the last third of the race, that people really trying to make the move and make their positions ready, and also then seeing now the replay, hopefully that will give us some chance to discuss what's going there.
Oh, that is, we need a big F in chat for that one, folks, because that was, race control are not going to be too happy at that one. And, you hate to see it, Alice Horton getting sent into the nether realm from out of nowhere. Julie Redmond back behind the wheel of the number 57. We'll wait to see where they factor in just now. But, this is starting to get a little bit wild. This is starting to get a little bit frenetic here in the final 12 minutes of the race. Jenny Kamugli for Turn 1 meets Biscuit Racing in that 101. Currently fighting it out for 8th and 9th place. I think that is Sebastian Handler just behind just now. In fact, that's Celine Witcher that Kamugli has just made the move on just now, up into 7th place, and that's 2nd place in the silvers just now. Great move there, and in towards turn 1 just now. You see in the background there, that is the number 10 machine, and that is Team Happy Life Factory. That's going to be Scarlett Zanoni taken back behind the wheel. Sebastian Handler into the pits again. Now what happened there? number 18, did the pit stop work actually with Sarah Fair, because the driver swap didn't happen. This is the 46 that's kind of brought out the yellow flag a couple of laps ago. This is the Love 46 team MFR. 2 wheels on the grass at the back, and that is a big bit of contact at the exit of the corner there, Laura, and getting themselves stuck in the grass for good measure.
Yeah, this also takes some time because you have to wait until all the pack is going there and no unsafe rejoin at this point. So this was kind of a bad accident there. Hopefully the car is all in good pieces and he's trying to make it work again. But yeah, we're just trying to see what's happening with the driver swaps. We couldn't find out what the problem was, but hopefully they're making the swap right now. This is costing maybe them the lead, and what we see already then that Joubert with the 8 is going in the lead of the category there. Yeah, what a problem there for the car number 18 that they couldn't find it, and they just moved back down the grid, where we are still with Natalie Lee here trying to speed up on the 16th play. And what we have seen Mia Rose. What's happened there?
Oh my goodness me, huge drama. Joubert and Mia Rose come into contact together. Thankfully, it's an 18-second lead. But oh my goodness me, we'll have to get a replay of that one. But Denise Joubert and Mia Rose come into contact in the Lesmo 1. And from what I'm hearing from the producers, that could have been Mia Rose into the back of Joubert. And if that was contact caused by Mia Rose, that could be a drive-through penalty. So this is huge news with 9.5 minutes left to go. Kamugli's off as well at turn 1 in 7th place. That, oh my goodness me. Now, Laura, why? I mean, what have those foam markers done to anyone?
I'm not sure. It's like a mess right now. I'm not sure what the tension is rising. There in the first corner is completely a problem, and she's now into the 9th position there for Kamugli, and hopefully that this will not shaking this up. And this is the problem here, what we're just trying to find out what was happening there. People going wide around the corners as well here, jumping back and forth onto the sausage curbs, and this is like shaking down most of the things. And wow, yeah, we see the replay.
Oh, let's have a look then. This is Mia. Oh my goodness me, that is yeah, you hate to see it. That is Mia Rose on Denise Joubert, loses it into the first corner. Now hang on a minute, because the fact, Laura, we're still looking at this replay, this isn't finished. What has gone on now? So that's bad enough, missed the breaking point, and that's it at coming into Lesmo 1. I've got a really bad feeling about this. Again, late on the brakes. Oh no.
Oh, okay, yeah. She's trying to also make her way clear that she's in the lead, and then trying to make the flashlights, and maybe that's the point.
Oh no. Oh my goodness me, that is huge. That is almost certainly going to be big consequences from race control, and that is an uncharacteristic. I mean, obviously the thought might be Joubert was quite slow, but again, in racing, here's the point. If you're a car being lapped, it is up to the car making that is a lap up to make the move on you in a safe manner. They cannot expect you to just move out of the way. Oh my goodness me, race control are going to have a huge field day with that one, and I cannot be interested. I cannot be, yeah, I don't know what to say, because I know what I think of it, but what I think of it and what we think of it as commentators is irrelevant, because it's up to race control here. The move on turn 1 was bad enough and could have been seen. And here's the number 8 again. This is Denise Joubert then, and I believe this is going to be on board then with Mia Rose. Oh no, I'm sorry. For me, that, Laura, that is yeah, there's no defence there.
Yeah, the problem is that she was maybe just so afraid because she saw the blue flags not in the first instance, and then she was like kind of, oh, I'm trying to brake and give her the space, but then it was too close that she couldn't expect that she had to move on the inside, and this made the impact, and this was a misunderstanding there, and hopefully they have a good word in the end. But luckily the car is still up running, so it was not a loss from their side. But as you said, we are not the stewards, which is a kind of a tough job as well, and they have to really get on this. But yeah, the misunderstanding can sometimes happen, and if you try to make the move, stay on your line, just be not making any funny stuff, because this can't be anticipated by the leaders or by somebody else is there. But luckily, they are both still in. That's the most important thing, and nothing is worrying on the other side. And we have Verena May, where we are right now, just trying to follow her around the course, where she's just tucking in on 104, trying up to gain some speed. And she's struggling with the car and with the tires quite a lot because, the heat is a bit of high here as well. And we have 0.4 seconds behind then Mia Svensson, which is kind of in 10th place at the moment.
Just watching the times now, that gap between Mia Rose and Tamea Benchik is now, about 13, 14 seconds. So if Mia Rose got a 15-second time penalty for that contact, oh my goodness me, that could be, very, very unfortunate indeed. 5.5 minutes left to go in round 2. Here's the update then for to show that Team Cupcake's in the lead of Pro-Am Championship because it's a dead heat with CMS Pro Blue on 42 points. TGN Ladies Racing, the number 8 car, in 3rd place. That is, of course, Denise Joubert and Harry Conway. Strix Racing, the 316 in 4th place. Anthony Lab and Daniel Austin's in Hot and Spicy. 997 in 5th place. Beta Bachenska and Errol Verwey, who have had a race to forget today. The yellow flags at the first corner there. That's the number 10 that's off. And talking about 10, again, a reminder, 10% off Thrustmaster products at the store, thrustmaster.com, when you use the discount code TMRockets10. That's 10% off on the web store at thrustmaster.com when you use the promo code TMRockets10. Enjoy it, go get yourself some new treats, and you can thank us later. Back to the race then, 4 3/4 minutes left to go. Josie Austin looks secure in that AM lead just now. It's been another exemplary performance from her and her teammate in that 137. Of course, that is Ridian Lloyd-Davis. Having a bit of a quiet one. Incident on lap 21 between cars 10 and 46. That is the Team Happy Life Factory and Love 46 Team MFR. That is going to be a 15-second penalty for Team Happy Life Factory for avoidable contact. And also on lap 22, between the 11 and the 13, drive-through for the 13 for avoidable contact. That is Hitode Racing. That is, the 11-13. That is Team Cake, Mascara and Hope that gets the drive-through for that one. So, penalties coming in thick and fast here.
Yeah, what pretty much is also amazing, because I tried to sneak around where Sarah Fair is at the moment, because she's now on 3rd place in the Pro-Am category, still on place 19, so she had a good recovery after this mess with the pit stop. And also what you said, Denise Pope, she came from the back of the grid and is now 11th also in that field. And also we jumped now there. Thanks so much for the directors in the background to see where she is right now. So the 3rd place, she was in the lead there for the Pro-Am category, and she recovered from that. So luckily, at least, even with that kind of positioning, you try to make the work. And then Denise Pope there, really good recovery from the first round where she had to start really the race from the back, and is now in 11th place and also 4th on the silver category.
Yeah, fantastic spot there as we head into the final couple of laps. The drive-through is cleared then for the number 13. They jump into the pits, and this is the battle for 23rd now. Lyubov Ozaretskovskaya in that number 46 GTL Racing around the outside of the corner, and that is an optimistic move. It gets it done. What a move from Lyubov there on the number 997 of Hot and Spicy's Beta Bachenska. And Beta, I think, just trying to bring that car home in one piece. But it's all been about Mia and Nori Rose, and barring that one incident there, it's been a pretty flawless drive for them.
Definitely, and also Josie Austin, who is then still in 7th place, also the first one in the M category, so pretty much decent what she did there. And the funny thing is, you said, and this is what I heard from the first round, that this is a couple actually on the 23rd place right now, the 46. Pretty interesting that they could drive together and make a good pair in that sense, and cheering each other up. So this is pretty nice to see that they are as well trying and drive together on their Lamborghini.
Yeah, Lyubov and Vladimir, husband and wife pairing, and I agree with you. I've tried talking my significant other into to taking part in sim racing, and she's having absolutely none of it. But back to the race in hand, Mia Rose in the final lap goes across the line to start it, so any decision by race control will be applied post-race. Altea Book up into 4th place and Alu Gobi in 5th, and this is a cracking little battle here we've got going on involving, I believe that is Josie Austin, Jenny Kamugli and Celine Witcher we've got going on. And yeah, cracking little battle here. In fact, sorry, it's Jenny Kamugli, Celine Witcher and Mia Svensson, who's had a massive fall from grace in that number 3 after that penalty earlier on. But there we see Mia Rose coming round the final couple of corners just now, halfway through the circuit. Again, an exemplary drive from Mia, doing very, very well to kind of just be that benchmark for the other drivers. Out of second Lesmo, down on the run towards Variante Ascari for that final time. And Laura, I mean, it's difficult to see how you can measure yourself up to this pairing.
Yeah, really have to make another announcement there, giving some tips, and we have the problem with the Pro-Am lead, and also that we have some other discussions going on, and also there is a spin there. That's big. Bush's coming there and just having a problem there, and last round. But here, Mia Rose is the last corner she takes here for the win again, and this is really kind of what you said, top notch.
Yeah, brilliant win then, start to finish, exemplary drive, number 2 for Mia Rose and Honore Rose for Jean Lacey Esports Academy. It's a second win from 2 here at Monza, and it's all you can ask for from them too. It's another win in Pro. Here comes Tamea Benchik to come across the line in second place, 16 seconds behind Mia and Honore Rose there. Sarah Job for GTWR RAG in that 177, cracking 3rd place, the final podium spot. Alu Gobi takes that 4th place. Would you believe it? 24 places, 28, start last, dead last, and takes 4th place. What a performance. That for me is the standout drive of the evening from Alu Gobi and the teammate there in that 21 there of Jens Kaiser. Stunning race there. It's going to be Altea Book taking 5th place after that spin on the last lap. Absolute heartbreak, and I'm going to have to watch on the live stream there. Sarah Johnson is going to take the win for silver alongside her teammate in the GTWR female racing of Jiri Turkia. It's going to be Josie Austin for Team Cake in the 137 to come across the line and win that AM. Question marks raised over how long Josie is going to be in AM, because incredible pace showed there along with Rydian Lloyd Davis. Amazing stuff there. And then it's going to be Sarah Fair in that 18 taking the win for Team Cake Cupcakes along with Sebastian Handler. Wow. Laura, how was that first race then?
I'm still super impressed of all this kind of movements on the track, back and forth, fighting for positions. And as we follow the chat along, definitely the 21 actually should be then for them probably the driver of the day, which would be actually funny to announce. But this is Alu Gobi and Jens Kaiser, who were getting the cheers from the chat, and pretty massive what they come from the back, and then also trying to make no mistakes in the middle of the race. And sometimes really the consistency pays off, and this is what we see. And this is impressive of how the car number 956 just really goes around the track without any hiccups, and it's just, yeah, I'm speechless in that sense. That this is pretty such a great grid together, and all the female drivers trying to make the move impressive.
Yeah, an awesome round 2, and it's an opening account done very, very well for a lot of these drivers, with just another couple of rounds to go here in More Female Racers by Thrustmaster Rockets. Of course, we head in a couple of weeks' time, in 2 weeks' time, we head to Spa-Francorchamps, and then Kyalami, Brands Hatch, and then we have a publicly voted track to finish the season on Awesome stuff. We're just a couple of minutes away from getting some driver interviews, so don't head anywhere. We'll get all of the winning class drivers into voice chat, and we'll bring them in for a little discussion. Reminder though, we do have a couple of special offers as always for you. Again, head to thrustmaster.com to get 10% off using our discount code TMRockets10. That's TMRockets10 to get 10% off. And as well, you can head over to ExpressVPN and get yourself 3 months free when you take out one of their 12-month plans using the ExpressVPN link, expressvpn.com/the sim grid. 3 months free on a 12-month package. Oh my goodness me. So let's have a see who we're going to have a chat to tonight, because I fancy having a look to some different teams. Let's have a chat to Eva De Andrade for Mia Esports, because obviously they were second in AM class, but it'd be nice to have some different voices in just now. So Eva, a very good evening. Second in AM class tonight. What was that race like tonight at Monza?
That was pretty great. Last round, Zolder, we had a bit of incidents that unfortunately led us to the 4th place. But we knew that we can compete to the podium, and yes, tonight the second position. But yeah, that was a great race, very consistent. Lucas and myself.
And obvious, just a way to say as well, 16th place overall, regardless of your AM position. That's a brilliant position given 28 drivers out there.
Yeah, I didn't focus on that leaderboard. I was more focused on the AM class, but yeah, it's really great to be that high in the leaderboard, considering we are in the AM class. So yeah, that was great to get that.
And with Spa coming up in the next round, is that a track that you like?
Yeah, I think I will hate the Radeon with that car. There's not too much aero for that, but yeah, I like Spa. I think maybe most of the people do, but yeah, I really look forward to Spa and maybe get another P2 or even P1 maybe.
Well, looking forward to it, Eva. Congratulations. Well done on second place with your teammate Lucas Montrezor, and we look forward to seeing you next time out.
Thank you, and see you next time.
So there we go, Eva De Andrade there from the number 24 Mia Esport team. Let's have a chat with Chris Corbin and Celine Witcher. They took P3 in silver. A great performance for them. So a very good evening to Chris Corbin and Celine Witcher. Talk us through that race. Celine, we'll come to you firstly, because obviously that was a little bit wild tonight.
Yeah, it's a little bit wild. I mean, it's going to be wild when you have to drive the Lamborghini Super Potato, but, how it is. And had a complete panic moment towards the end. The retaining bolts on my pedals came a little bit loose, but still managed to bring it home P10, third in class. So, and thanks to my co-driver for making up for my mistakes.
And coming to yourself, Chris, you obviously took over from Celine. What were the commands coming over in voice chat during the race? Were you offering support to Celine, or was there a master strategy at play?
The words from myself towards Celine were basically just avoid the carnage at the beginning, see where we are after 1 to 2 laps, and just get our head down and make sure that we keep the car on the road. It's a very, very tricky car to drive. The 20 minutes that I was in the car felt like 20 hours, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was basically a race of just, let's get over what happened in Zolder. We had a retirement in Zolder. Let's make sure this is a good one, and thankfully we managed to pull off a good race.
And coming back to yourself, Celine, I mean, Zolder was just craziness, chaos and things going on left, right and centre. It must have been good for yourself to knuckle down and actually get a good result in.
Yeah, it was a big relief. I mean, we were pretty heartbroken after everything that happened at Zolder, so it was nice to actually be able to keep things relatively clean. You know, maybe just a little ding in the front fender, but other than that, everything went largely according to plan. Like I say, other than just a few equipment-related issues, but yeah, it's much better to be, you know, we're performing where we think we should be, as opposed to just, you know, like the chaos and having to park the car.
Last question then for you both. Celine, Spa, next time out, flat out up Radeon?
If the super potato will take it, then absolutely.
Chris, flat out?
I'll try it on the first go, and I'll send a video to the admins to show you how it went.
Excellent stuff, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Congratulations on the result tonight. P3 in silver, and look forward to seeing you in Spa.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So there we go then, Chris Corbin and Celine Witcher. And let's finally have a chat with Charlotte Robertson and Cosmo Marsh. Again, P3 in the AM Championship, but Charlotte and Cosmo for Hitode Racing, P3 in the AM class, and safe to say that you two were in the thick of it tonight.
Yeah, it was not too bad in turn one overall. We picked up a couple of seconds of damage and then had a good fight with Heather for a few laps until that ended badly as well.
And Charlotte, talk us through the start of that race, because obviously it was fairly clean and consistent compared to Zolder. How difficult was it for you getting involved? Because you seem to have cars trying to make moves on you, and you were pretty expertly putting that car defensively.
Thank you. I've not had too much experience defending, to be honest, but yeah, I've been... it was pretty tough. I mean, the actual first corner wasn't too bad, but during the race we had a couple of people sending a few dives up and had to decide whether to let them go or not.
And Cosmo, coming to yourself, I take it you won't want to be seeing the Parabolica again anytime soon.
No, I think that's one of the corners that's definitely not going to be on my Christmas list this year. But yeah, pretty hard race. You know, we were really fighting with everybody, and you know, I'm happy we managed to get back to third in class. Charlotte did a brilliant job to recover from my spin of Discovery in my stint, which yeah, I didn't exactly cover myself in glory today with getting overtaken the Parabolica twice, but it was a great to be here at the Sim Grid, great to be here in such a brilliant championship as well, you know, that's inspiring so many female racers to, you know, get out there on track, and I'm just proud to be a part of it, to be honest, and, you know, all credit to Charlotte, she did brilliantly today.
And just finally, actually, on a completely different topic, Cosmo, you mentioned that issue that you had in your stint. I want to know what sort of support you two give each other during the race. Do you communicate on voice chat with each other? What happens if one of you has an incident? Do you try and talk each other down from the anxiety of it all?
Well, I'm far more prone to that than Charlotte is, actually, and you know, she can just, you know, knuckle down and get back on with it. But I find that a lot harder. So having her there to just tell us, you know, it's all right. There's a long way left to go. Keep your head down. You know, having somebody who will do that is just, you know, it's great to have somebody there to, you know, keep your head in the game. And I hope I was as useful to Charlotte as she was to me. You know, she kept me going. I think I, you know, helped her out as well. So I think we made a pretty good team today.
Well, great result, Cosmo and Charlotte. Thank you so much for joining us today. Third place in the AM class and some excellent points for you.
Thank you.
So there we go then, Charlotte Robertson and Cosmo March joining us and rounding out the interviews. Congratulations again to Mia Rose and Nori Rose taking the win there for Jean Alesi Esports in dominant fashion. But Laura, What a race to start your season off here. Round 2 at More Female Racers by Thrustmaster Rockets. And are you looking forward to Spa?
Of course, because that is actually also a pretty decent track where we have lots of possibilities for overtaking, but also for mistakes and also cutting the course. That is pretty intense, but I'm super excited. And this is the second round where it already had some really great fights on the track and brilliant drives we have seen so far. And I'm still kind of speechless how great they improved from the first round, and it's making so much fun to speak. And thanks for everybody just bringing me on board here. And David Christie, it was a pleasure.
It's been our pleasure, absolutely our pleasure. Spa-Francorchamps then is going to be in May 24th, and I'm going to pause there for a second because I've just had some information whispered in my ears. I'm going to ask our producers to repeat that. So I'm just hearing that our race winner, Mia Rose and Eonori Rose, the 956, have been hit with a 30-second time penalty instead of a drive-through, and I'm going to presume that's added on to their finished time. That is going to be Mia Rose and Eonori Rose, Laura, are going to finish the race in 3rd place. That is an absolute bombshell.
Yeah, I guess they are not super happy with this in the end, but but hopefully, and also with the speed they have, this will pick up for the next time. And they were quite harsh today.
Wow. Yeah, it's been a thing that's been mentioned this year from the SimGrid. They've been cracking down on driving standards. So again, we will be back in 2 weeks' time to pick over the bones of that absolute huge little announcement there. It wasn't quite to be for Mia and Eonori Rose. A big thank you as always to our commercial partners, to Coach Dave Academy, who are really one of the founding partners here at the SimGrid, offering support to esports racers of all abilities. Head over there to get a wide range of professionally developed esports ready ACC setups, and as well the brand new edition of one-to-one sim coaching. I would say that is the most important addition they have made in some time. Thrustmaster.com as well for their continued support. Remember, TM Rockets 10 to get a cheeky little 10% discount. And as always, to our production team behind the scenes of Mike Yao, our broadcast director, and Michael Hamlet as well. And to Laura Luft for joining us on board. I've got to say, Laura, you look mightily professional with that picture rather than me. I've been David Christie. She's been Laura Luft. Thank you very much. Join us in 2 weeks' time for Spa for More Female Racers by Thrustmaster Rockets.
Thank you.